Guys, I wanted to just drop in today and share a little note. I won't likely often get into the video trend. If you ask my kids, I'm not very trendy, but I had a thought or two that I wanted to share today that I thought I would just do in a more personal way. This morning, a thought popped into my head that at what point do we start treating our children the way that God treats us? You know, God says to us, I love you this much. And he shows us all day long a million different ways that he loves us. It might be in the laughter of your children. It might be in the trees you see outside your window at work. It might be in the smile of a stranger, an encouraging note or text message. It might be in a million different ways that he shows our love. At the very least, it's because you woke up this morning with breath still in your lungs. Then he says to us, I've shown you the way you can live. I've given you the perfect example in my son, who through my spirit was able to do what he did on earth, and that's exactly what you can do. And he says, I've also given you examples of what happens when you fall off that path, not out of some judgmental angle that he has, but because those are consequences to our actions. There are consequences when we don't do the things that he's set out for us to do. He loves us. He wants the best for us. So my question is, at what point do we start doing that for our own children? I cannot make my children good Christians or good human beings. I can only be an example of that. And I've got to say that gets harder and harder as time goes on, because there are people out there that claim to be Christians and are anything but. Their lifestyle doesn't say that they're a Christian. Their demeanor doesn't say that they're a Christian. The way that they treat others and act toward others does not say that they're a Christian. And I'm here as a parent of 3 children, almost all teenagers, and I'm having to say to them, that's not our example. That person isn't our example. Quite frankly, even I'm not the example. But in my home, I am to be an example of what God has done for me. There are people out there who want to say, they want to throw the 10 Commandments at you, and they want to say, this is how you get saved. But it's not. It's just 100% not how you get saved. Having an abiding relationship with Christ every day is what saves you. The result of that relationship is wanting to obey him, and it goes way farther than 10 Commandments. You will want to do anything he asks of you. You will feel drawn by him, and it won't feel like laborious or a self-sacrifice to do or not do anything that the world's telling you to do or not do, or that the church is telling you to do or not do. But we're supposed to set the example in our home of God's love. We cannot do that if we don't understand it. I spent 37 years with God standing right next to me, calling me over and over and over again, picking me up every time I fell, loving me even through my mistakes, even through my failures. And when I was ready to accept him, he flooded my life with so much love and peace. Even in the midst of trials, he does this. And it's because I now have a better understanding of his love that I want to show that to my own children. I want to show it to my children. I want to show it to the people I go to church with. I want to show it to my family, to everyone I come in contact with. I want to show them that kind of love. That's the example we're to be. We're to be the example of what God does for us. That's my only thing I can tell. I can only say what God has done for me. My only testimony is that I was lost and now I'm found. I was blind and now I see. But there comes a point in my own home, although I have rules and there are things that my children will do as long as they're in my house, the relationship they develop with Christ has to be between them and him. I can only be an example of how to come to that relationship. And the way you come to that relationship is by daily submission. You know, I shared yesterday how Christ did the greatest trade on our behalf. He came to us and said, I will trade you all of my righteousness for all of your sin. But that is a trade we have to make every single day. We don't grow in righteousness. We grow in faith. We grow in our relationship with Him. We grow in love. But righteousness is achieved only through Christ on a daily basis. There's not one of us who's out there more righteous than another. We're all sinners and have fallen short of the glory of God. But He has come and He sent His Son for each and every one of us. He loves each one of us, even on the days we never choose Him. Even if it takes 37 years, even if it takes 68 years, however many years it's going to take you to choose Him, He's going to keep calling you. And my prayer is that if you're a parent, you seek to understand His love and you show that love to your children. And if you haven't chosen Him yet, that one day when you're ready, you'll see that He's been next to you all along, that He loves you more than anything in the entire world, that He sent His Son to die for you specifically. And when you are ready to accept that love, you'll have a deeper understanding of it than I can even explain to you. I can't even explain what that feeling's like, except it has transformed my life. My life isn't perfect. Not every day is wonderful, but every day is a blessing. Every day I'm blessed. And the closer I am to God, the more I realize how He's blessing me. It doesn't mean that sometimes things aren't painful, because they are. Raising 3 teenagers is very difficult. But He gives us grace and strength and mercy and salvation, and those are free gifts, and His love is a free gift. And I pray today that you accept it. And I'm praying for you every single day. May He give you the strength that you need and the courage you need to choose Him today, because today is a good day to choose God.